flesh and dwelt among us. I speak in the name of God, Father. Amen. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
What a gift we have today, right? What a special, special gift. You know, for a number of years I did some, I worked with my wife at St. Christopher's, and I was the weekly chaplain. I was the chaplain for all the school kids. We had a weekly mass every Wednesday. So I did the chapel service and preached to them and talked to them and whatnot, and took care of some of those spiritual questions that that kids have, right? So some of the questions kids have really are questions that maybe sometimes we have, right? But they're not afraid to ask, right? They're not afraid to say. And so they asked me, Father Tom, why did this happen? Why did Jesus have to come down and go through his passion and die for us and whatnot, give himself for us? And what was that all about? Why did that have to happen that way? So I told them a story. This story, maybe it'll be helpful to you. There was a farmer. This farmer had a lovely, lovely, great big farm, right? Huge farm. He had apple orchards, pear orchards, peach orchards, had grapes, had vines of grapes. He had all kinds of grains and whatnot in his farm. All the things that a farmer could ever really hope for. Right? He had chickens and ducks, pigs, cows, horses. He had all those things. And his favorite thing of all were his puppies. He loved his puppies. Probably more than any of the other parts of his farm. He loved those puppies. And so he took very good care of those puppies, and he gave them full reign. They could go anywhere they wanted to go on the farm. They could go into the apple orchards and maybe nibble on some apples. They could go anywhere on the farm. They could do whatever they wanted to. But the farmer had put a fence on the edge of his property, a very good fence, because he knew sometimes if those puppies and all their playfulness wandered outside that fence, they might get themselves into trouble. So he did what he thought was putting a good fence around this great farm and great property. But as those puppies got a little bit older, they got a little friskier. You know how sometimes we get a little friskier when we get older, right? Well, they were like the puppies. So the puppies got a little frisky, and one of the puppies was able to dig under the fence, dig a hole under the fence, and the other puppies followed, and they got outside. Well, outside there wasn't such a pleasant place as the farm. There were deep pits, old dry wells and whatnot, and the puppies played in the new area. They thought they were having a grand time. But one of the puppies fell down in the well, into an old dry well. The other puppies were just devastated. They circled around the well, they barked, 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 jump up, as if to say, jump up, jump out. But the puppy was far, far down, couldn't jump out, couldn't get out. So the puppies finally, they go back to the farm. They're circling around. The farmer knows there's something wrong. And he follows them. They lead him to the puppy trapped in the deep, deep well. And as the farmer looks down, he goes, oh my goodness. He tries to call, jump out, jump up. Puppy couldn't jump up. Couldn't get out of that depth of that well. And so the farmer went and got a basket with a rope, and he lowered it down. Jump in, jump in. No. Puppy just circled around the basket, didn't jump in. Farmer pulled it up, put one of the chew toys in the basket. Oh, he'll go in after the chew toy. Down goes the rope. Jump in, jump in. No. They begged him. Puppy wouldn't budge, wouldn't get in that basket. The farmer didn't know what to do. It was getting late at night. He put a few more toys in, hoping the different toys would help. No, didn't help. And it was getting late. It was going to start to get dark. And the farmer said, He takes one of the other puppies, and he puts the puppy in the basket, and he lowers that puppy down, and then the other puppy jumps right in the basket, and they bring him up. Right. Well, that's the incarnation, my friends. What God so loved the world that he sent his own Son in a basket down to retrieve us from our waywardness. Because sometimes we're like those little puppies. We get ourselves in a little trouble. And though all the prophets might tell us all the history of Christianity and of Judaism, tell us all the things that God sent to us to encourage us into that bucket, it took God's self, incarnate, Jesus Christ, to come down from heaven and be with us as a brother, knowing and encouraging us to jump in the bucket with him. So my prayer for all of us here at St. Benedict's is that we all jump in that bucket. And if we're the other puppy, we encourage those puppies that are lost to come on and jump in with us. Because if they jump in with us, God will do the rest. Jesus will raise them up. And so I wish you all a very Merry Christmas and a good trip in the bucket. Amen.